Hi, welcome to another audio tutorial, and today I want to talk to you about a topic that honestly at Alpe get asked about so many times, and it's kind of controversial, and it is this issue of learning styles, and it's at Alpe it's audio learning versus visual learning. And honestly, the two questions that I get asked the most at Alpe is, what's an audio course and how is audio learning different from a regular online course? And the second one is, how do you teach an audio when I'm a visual learner? And those are two questions that we hear about very, very often, and I want to tackle this head on because learning styles is a myth, and it's a complete fallacy of I'm a visual learner versus an audio learner, and if that shocks you, well, it shocked me as well. And I'm not making this claim. This is actually based off of the work of cognitive scientists, and when I read the book Why Students Don't Like School by Daniel Willingham, he's a chapter that's dedicated to this, and it's actually amazing. He kind of breaks it down how scientists have proven that learning styles isn't as important as we tend to think about it. And if you think about it, how would someone prove or disprove this? It comes down to scientific theory, and that is scientists take group A and they take group B, and they say, okay, group A say they are visual learners, and group B say they are just regular learners, and we present material to them in visual ways and then in a different way, say in an audio way, right? And so for group A who testify that they are visual learners, what we would do is show them a list of words to memorize visually, and for group B we would read that list of words out loud without writing them down, and then we would see which group remembers those words better. And that could be words, it can be concepts, or it can be any kind of other material that you want to study. And scientists have actually done this experiment multiple times, and if you're curious, you can I'll put a link in the video notes about where you can find Daniel's research and the book and the chapter that he discusses this. And what they found was actually there is no difference between this kind of learning and that kind of learning. There's no difference between the audio and the visual. And that's kind of shocking when you think about it, but what makes the difference is really meaning and repetition. Meaning and repetition is what decides what we remember, right? We remember something when it means something to us. Think about your wedding day, that means a lot to you, and think about repetition, right? There's some things that don't mean anything to you, but you do them every single day, and that's why you remember them. And so meaning and repetition matter a lot more than audio or visual learning styles. And that's a shock to a lot of people because, we really feel like I'm a visual learner, I only see things when I understand them. And so what does this myth fallacy mean to us in terms of learning? Because it forces us to reevaluate what matters in teaching and learning. And so if we thought about it was only visual or audio or kinesthetic or any kind of learning style, when we put aside this myth for a few minutes, we can focus on what matters. And at Alpe we think about it in three ways. One is repetition, the other is meaning, and the third is attention and focus, right? You have to be cognizant of the level of attention and focus that you're getting from your learners. And so at Alpe, because this is an audio course, these are audio-based lessons, we know that our learners aren't focused on us 100% of the time, and we have to take that into account in how we teach and how we structure courses. And that's a key part of what makes Alpe audio courses like an Alpe audio course, that we're taking that into account. And honestly, I think that's also what's missing in a lot of other platforms that assume that learners are paying attention fully, when the reality is today we're multitasking far more often than we care to admit. But it's those three things that matter much more than learning styles. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this myth busting. See you next time.